2 Kings chapter 1. And Moab rebelled against Israel after the death of Ahab, and Ahaziah fell through the lattice in the upper chamber that was in Samaria, and was sick. And he sent messengers, and said unto them, Go, inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover of this sickness. But an angel of the Lord said to Eliah the Tishbite, Arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them, It is because there is no God in Israel that you go to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron. Now therefore thus saith the Lord, You shall not come down from the bed, whither you art gone up, but shall surely die. And Eliah departed. And the messengers returned unto him, and he said unto them, Why is it that you art returned? And they said unto him, There came up a man to meet us, and said unto us, Go, return unto the king that sent you, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, It is because there is no God in Israel that you send us to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron. Therefore you shall not come down from the bed, whether you art gone up, but shalt surely die. And he said unto them, What manner of man was he that came to meet you, and told you these words? And they answered him, He was a hairy man, and girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, It is Elijah the Tishbite. Then the king sent unto him a captain of 50, and with his 50, and he went up to him. And behold, he sat on the top of the hill, and he spoke unto him, O man of God, the king has said, Come down. And Eliah answered and said to the captain of 50, If I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven, and consume you and your 50. And there came down fire from heaven, and consumed him and his 50. And again he sent unto him another captain of 50, and his 50. And he answered and said unto him, O man of God, thus hath the king said, Come down quickly. And Eliah said unto them, If I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven, and consume you and your 50. And the fire of God came down from heaven, and consumed him and his 50. And again he sent the captain of a third 50 with his 50. And the third captain of the 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Eliah, and begged him, or besought him, and said unto him, O man of God, I pray you, let my life and the life of these 50, your servants, be precious in your sight. Behold, there came fire down from heaven, and consumed the two former captains of 50 with their 50s, but now let my life be precious in your sight. And the angel of the Lord said unto Eliah, Go down with him, and be not afraid of him. And he arose and went down with him unto the king. And he said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Forasmuch as you have sent messengers to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron, is it because there is no God in Israel to inquire of his word? Therefore you shall not come down from the bed, whether you art gone up, but shall surely die. So he died according to the word of the Lord which Eliah had spoken. And Jehoram began to reign in his stead. In the 2nd year of Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, because he had no son. Now the rest of the acts of Ahaziah, which he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? All right, let's go back to verse 1. Now, Ahaziah's king, we remember, Ahav, my father's brother, died, and Ahaziah has taken his place yesterday, or the last chapter of 1 Kings. And now this story is going to pick up with Ahaziah. This book basically just falls right in with the other book. We'll remember that they have been fighting against Aram, the enlightened ones, but now they're going to have problems with the other nations. God is getting angry, and the angrier God gets, the more sin and the more strife he sends into the nation. And we'll begin with verse 1. And Moab rebelled against Israel after the death of Ahav. And Moab was one of the sons of Lot, and are from the children of the son of Zalot, and Moab means like their father. And they've rebelled now against Israel, these ones that are like their father. And this is after the death of Ahab. And verse 2, Ahaziah fell down through the lattice in his upper chamber that was in Samaria, and was sick. And he sent messengers and said unto them, Go inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron, whether I shall recover of this sickness. So Ahaziah, he's the son of Ahab. He's took over the kingdom of Israel now. And he's fell through the lattice work of this. It's like a grid of sticks that acts as a window cover. Now he's fell through there, probably leaning out, looking at something, and fell through, and he's hurt himself, and he's sick, and he's laying in bed. He is in the place of Samaria, this place of dregs. So he sends messengers now, and he tells them to go down to Ekron. Ekron is this place that's ripped up by the roots violently. And he sent them down now to inquire of this not a god, Beelzebub. And Beelzebub means Baal, means Lord, and Zebub means to flitter, to fly, to flap your little wings or something. And he is the not a god of this place of Ekron. Verse 3, But an angel of the Lord said to Eliah the Tishbite, Arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them, Is it because there is no God in Israel that you go to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron? So God has sent a messenger now to Eliah. My mighty one is God, and he's the Tishbite. He is one who is coming up out of captivity. He tells him now, go meet these messengers of this king of the dregs, and tell them, because there is no God in Israel. This is the reason you go to Beelzebub, this lord of the fly, this not a god of Ekron. For now therefore, thus saith the Lord, you shall not come down from the bed, whether you art gone up, but shall surely die. And Eliah departed. So he's got a message from God, and he takes this message, and he tells these messengers that the king sent to go to Beelzebub. He says, you go back and tell the king that it's because there ain't a God in Israel. That's why you're going to Beelzebub, and you're not going to come down from this bed that you've gone up. And to come down from it means you ain't going to get out of this bed. You're stuck here till you die. And this bed is that bed one makes for himself in life. 5, And the messengers returned unto him, and he said unto them, Why is it that you are returned? So the messengers now, they've got back to the king, and he wants to know why they're back so fast. 6, And they said unto him, There come up a man to meet us, and said unto us, Go, return unto the king that sent you, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, It is because there is no God in Israel, that you send us to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron. Therefore you shall not come down from the bed, whether you art gone up, but shall surely die. And now, once again, we're finding out why this punishment is coming upon him. It's because there's not a God in Israel. So they have to run over to this other one. They've thrown down the law of God, and now they don't know how to use it. And they have to go around chasing these not a gods. And they're telling him now, this one come up and done told us to come back and tell you this twice now. Witness this, witness, there's not a God in Israel. And he said unto them, What manner of man was he that came up to meet you and told you these words? So now Ahaziah, those ones that have been seized by God, wants to know, what manner of man was this that told you these things? 8, And they answered him, He was a hairy man, and girt with a girdle of leather about his loins, and he said, It is Eliah the Tishbite. So when they start to describe him now, he's this hairy guy, and he's got a big leather belt around his waist, He recognizes him. He says, that's Eliah. That's my mighty one is God. He's the one coming out of captivity. 9. Then the king sent unto him a captain of 50 with his 50. And he went up to him, and behold, he sat on the top of the hill, and he spoke unto him, O man of God, the king has sent. Come down. So now the king, he's sending one of his army captains, this captain of 50, and this captain, he is this one who has authority. He's been given authority. And he comes down now with his 50, and this 50 is his troops, or his ones, and this is the grace of the law. 50 always is the grace of the law. And he is the captain of the grace of the law. And he has went up to him, and behold, he sat on the top of the hill, Eliah does. And he spoke unto him, O man of God, the king has said, come down. So now this captain of the grace of the law has come up, and he's told him now, the king says, come down. 10. And Eliah answered and said to the captain of 50, if I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50. And there came down fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50. So we see, as soon as Eliah says, if I'm a man of God now, let fire come down from heaven. And it did, because he was. And it consumed this captain of 50 and his 50. This captain of the grace of the law who was sent. And the grace of the law which he was sent for is consumed. And this consumption we're going to see is fire. And this fire always represents the word of God consuming you, because the law is the word. See, God sent the law, and it does become a consuming fire in the end time. And again he sent unto him another captain of 50 with his 50. And he answered and said unto him, O man of God, thus saith the king, come down quickly. So now this next captain of 50, this next captain of the grace of the law, with his grace of the law, he's come and he's told Eliah, he says, get down here quick. The king wants you down here now. So he's speaking a little more sharply with Eliah. And verse 12, and Eliah answered and said unto them, if I be a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you and your 50. And the fire of God came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50. So again, once again, this is twice now, witness what's going on here. God wants you to witness these things. And this, once again, God, this captain of 50, he is, once again, this one who's been given rulership of man, not effectively by God. He's come down with his grace of the law, and him and his grace of the law has been consumed by the fire of God. Once again, the law has consumed him. 13, and again he sent the captain of the third 50 with his 50. And the third captain of the 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Eliah, and begged him, and said unto him, O man of God, I pray you, let my life and the life of these 50, your servants, be precious in your sight. So now this captain of 50, he's come up, and he's telling Eliah, my mighty one is God. And he's fell on his knees, and he's begging now. He's begging this man of God to let the life of him and the life of the grace of these laws, his servants, be precious in his sight. And these are the laws that Eliah served anyway. 14. And he says, behold, there came fire down from heaven and consumed the two former captains of 50 with their 50s. But now let my life be precious in your sight. So this captain of 50, he's begging now for his life and the life of these 50, this grace of this law. And he sees now what has happened to the two former captains of 50. Now witness these two former captains of 50 that have been punished by the law. 15. And the angel of the Lord said unto Eliah, go down with him, be not afraid of him. And he arose and went down with him unto the king. So now God sends word to Eliah and tells him to go down now with this third one, complete. Now it's complete. To go down with him and go to the king. And Elijah does, and he says to him, 16, and he said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, forasmuch as you have sent messengers to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron, it is because there is no God in Israel to inquire of his word. Therefore you shall not come down from your bed, whether you art gone up, but shall surely die. So now this final judgment, complete. This is the third time. Ahaziah, those that are seized by God, those that have fell away and are seized now by God, as this example he's going to make in the end, tells them, you are not going to come down from this bed, but you shall surely die. This is complete now. His judgment is complete. And these we'll find in the end time are those that will be ripped up by God violently now by their roots, because they have served this Beelzebub, and they have not known God, nor thought after his law, but have went astray and do error. God asks that you return. He's making these examples and making this known so that you can understand. He wants you to understand there is a God. He does talk with men, and he wants you to be obedient to his law. 17, so he died according to the word of the Lord, which Eliah had spoken. And Jehoram began to reign in his stead. So Ahaziah, those that are seized by God, he's died now. Just like the word of God said by Eliah, my mighty one is Yah. And Jehoram, Yah, God shall be exalted, reigns in his stead. And in the second year of Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, because he had no son. So now witness this circle, witness this understanding. The second year of Jehoram, the second year, God, witness this, God is exalted. The second time, see, God is exalted once he made himself known unto Israel through the law. Now he shall make himself known to all the nations of the earth through the law. And he is the son of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat means God is judged. It's done. This is complete. And we're going to see now Ahaziah didn't have no son. So Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, is going to rule in his stead. 18. Now the rest of the acts of Ahaziah, which he did, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And there will be the other witness, and we will get to it in time. All right, now we're going to move on to chapter 2.